I'm back. I'm back. Chucky's back. Okay, so I do want to thank everybody who has contacted me by email, shatteredwindows7@gmail.com, and has offered to send donations. I have Venmo, Cash App, PayPal. And what I do want to say is that Chewy.com did discount the water bags for Cupid. So I do want to give a shout out to Chewy.com because they did hook me up with that. So like I said, I'm going to give shout outs where shout outs are due. So, it's Stella Rose all day today, doing what I'm doing, supposed to be doing, sitting in the car. Sitting in the car in the same clothes I had on yesterday. Because it's my fault that I'm homeless. So, this is really productive, isn't it? So basically what you do is you just find a park that has a public bathroom so you can use their bathroom, and then you take I have a washcloth that I use, and I wet the washcloth and then I wipe myself down. But I've been getting rashes because the soap isn't really washing off. But I can't go to the doctor because I don't have my Medicaid yet. They set me 3 weeks behind on that. So that's it, really. Just sitting here wasting time. I'm just sitting here waiting like I was told to do. Just sit here and wait. Just sit here and wait in my car. I remember when I was at the housing authority, I said to the lady, I'm like, do you think it's right that you're just making me sit in my car? She told me to go tell it to Capitol Hill. So I'm telling it to Capitol Hill. I'm telling it to Capitol Hill. I will say though that, like, unless some things happen, like, you don't know to make the next step or to make the next decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I had a conversation with one of my friends that I was friends with since I was like 14 years old. And I was telling her what was going on and that Cupid and I were sitting in our car, and this was like about 3 weeks ago. And all she said was I hope that they help you. Who helps me? You hope who helps me? Do you even know what's going on? Who's they? People that I don't even know help me? Okay. So I guess if that moment didn't happen, I wouldn't have realized that, like, that person really wasn't my friend. Because if they were my friends, they would try to find ways to help me, or to contact organizations, or to send links or things like that. But some people are happy when you're down because it makes them feel needed. You know what I mean? Like, she probably liked the version of me that was low, you know? Some people are like that. I mean, but if it wasn't for my circumstances, I wouldn't have known that. You know what I mean? So I feel like, like when they say, like everything happens for a reason, or you're put in a certain position for a reason. I think that, especially like in times like this, you have to make those choices. You have to make choices. I'm stuck to my seat. Oh, and like my ankles are so swollen from like sitting in an upright position and not being able to lay down. So, yeah, just showing you what it's like. A day in the life of Stella Rose all day, living out of her car. So I said, be careful if you want to be a whistleblower, because they're going to make sure they take out your work. They're going to take out your friends. They're going to shut doors that you didn't even know were doors. They're going to shut those doors. So you have to just be diligent and keep doing what you're doing. So just sitting in my car, waiting for people to review my paperwork for the 17th time. Being accused of being harassing the staff because I'm calling and following up on my application. I don't know. If any lawyers want to talk to me, go ahead and feel free to email me, because I'm pretty sure that this is like a legitimate lawsuit for discrimination. You know, like I said, I was in real estate for 20 years. And I got the evidence now. It's all that you need. That and all my videos. But yeah, thank you to the people who have been emailing me. Every little bit helps, you know, especially when you're getting through that hump. Yep. Just wanted to say again, shout out to Chewy.com for helping out with Cupid's water bags. The water. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Because the last vet that he was at, the doctor told me that she was going to give me some bags for him to take home, but then she reneged on that and wouldn't do it because he was too old. So one of my friends, no, actually it was my counselor, Kristen, was the one that told me that Chewy.com helps people that are in need and need supplies for their animals. And so they did help me with that. So I'm very grateful. Because even though like the vets might only pay like a couple of dollars for the bags of water, that one veterinarian didn't want to do it. Didn't, even after she said she was going to give me a couple of bags, she didn't want to do it. So Chewy.com stepped up to the plate and helped me out. It's interesting because I guess if I wasn't in such, you know, dire need of things, I wouldn't even know these things. I think I bought from Chewy.com like once or twice before, but I never really had any money to like spend on stuff just to like buy, you know. Yorkies are very, you know, fragile dogs. You have to be careful what you feed them. You have to be careful that they don't get hyperglycemic, and you have to make sure that they always have water and food, and like they should eat certain types of foods and stuff like that. So I've always just done the best I can with him and when he had his sister, but you know, it's just right now it's just you just get what you can to like get by, you know. The thing I don't like about sleeping in the car is it's just you're so vulnerable to just basically like how can you really sleep, you know, knowing that you could get carjacked or you know raped or robbed or whatever, because when you're most vulnerable is at night, because that's when the predators come out to attack. So and then just basically not being able to like stay clean with like showers and stuff, especially with that surgery that I have to have. You're supposed to be able to keep really clean, but the hygiene's been on the down low because you can only use public restrooms. And like it's not like you can just walk into a McDonald's and use their bathroom. They don't allow people just to use public restrooms, so you have to buy something every time you go in. That's why I go to the park, because I don't have to pay for anything in order to use the bathrooms. But, you know, it's just like, it's not a clean shower. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you're just wiping yourself down with a wash rag and a bar of soap. I got bars of soap from the one hotel I was staying at. the one cleaning lady, she knew my situation, and so she gave me a bunch of bars of soap because she knew I was going to need them. Bless her heart. So yeah, I've met some pretty interesting people along on my journey, you know. And so people that I probably normally wouldn't even bother to talk to. Not because like I think I'm better than them, but just because the circumstances wouldn't have allowed me to cross their path unless I was in a certain situation. You know what I mean? Like right away when the dog got sick, people jumped in to help, which is great. You know what I mean? I had people that offered to like foster my dog, but uh he's my service animal. And so we're bonded and we stay together. So that's not an option, and I'm not going to surrender my pet because he's my service animal. So I just think it's a good opportunity to cause awareness because, you know, there's people out there who want to give back and they don't know how to give back, especially to the homeless community. Because the minute people find out that you're homeless, which I again call houseless, this is just an address, they automatically think that you're up to no good. They automatically think that you're a drug addict. They automatically think you're an alcoholic. They automatically think the worst. They don't think that, you know, people can end up in these situations just because they fall through the cracks. But that's what happens. You know what I mean? So it's just good for people to realize, you know, this is how the world works. This is just what's going on now. So I'm just sitting here waiting. That's what I was told to do. Just sit here and wait. Just sit here and wait. So I'm just sitting here waiting. It's such like a waste of time and space, you know. You could be doing something productive with your time. But I guess it's content for YouTube. I'm trying to think what some of the... Oh, I did get people who sent me recommendations on the books and the books to read and stuff like that. And that's something that I want to get into. Maybe like closer to like Christmas time or whatever, is getting into like doing like, I don't know if it's necessarily like a book club, but I do enjoy getting the recommendations, and I do enjoy getting the fan mail. It's really interesting, some of the things that people ask about or talk about or share with you, you know. I'm not going to say who contacts me, but I do get quite a bit of fan mail. I mean, I get emails every day and several times a day sometimes. So, and then there'll be a lull where I won't get anything, but I do. Hi, Sun Sparkle. How are you? How are you? Um, yeah, it's interesting that people even think about contacting me and writing to me. I really enjoy it. I save them. I save my fan mail. And I don't respond to everybody, but I respond to most everybody. There's just some emails, if I feel like they're suspicious or whatever, I won't even open them, but I do my best to respond to people. But most people are very supportive. Like, they compliment me. They tell me to keep going, keep doing what you're doing. I love your work. I love your books. I want to buy your books and donate them to libraries. And I get all kinds of different fan mail. I get a lot of questions sometimes, like about, you know, especially Aaron's case. I did have a law student contact me and tell me that they were using my book Shattered Windows as a case study, because they were looking for a way, which I'm all for, to change the way that the wills and trusts are done, because there's just too many that are, you know, like paper can be changed and manipulated. So I do know that there is a law school who is using my book Shattered Windows to do a case study on, which I think is great, because I'm all for, making change. Like my dad being an elderly Alzheimer's, a dementia patient, shouldn't have been taken advantage of, especially from a high profile law firm like that. That was just complete elder abuse. But it happens, and you're going to get older and you're going to want to protect yourself. And that's why I said do the videos. Like, I'm not going to have kids because I'm already past like the age to have kids. But, what I would like to do when I die or when I pass away is basically to help the homeless people with their pets. Because now I know how important that is. And I wouldn't have known that before. Or there's got to be a way to help homeless people stay clean. Like, there's got to be a way for them to be able to go to like a certain park and take a shower and stuff like that. Because once you've been beaten down, you tend to stay down because people all automatically, they don't want to know your story. They just want to beat on you. They just want to make it your fault for everything that happens. And I feel sorry for the ones who don't have a voice. You know, that's that's why I feel like, if I'm going to be put in this position and these things are happening to me, I'm not an idiot. I know these things happen to other people too. And so causing change through awareness is really what my job is right now. And, I just want to give a shout out one more time to Chewy.com for helping me with the water for my dog. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. I know he appreciates it too. But yeah, animals are a sense of comfort. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons why I wasn't pushed into any kind of an addiction, because I do have a dog, and it makes me accountable to the world. You have to get up, you have to walk them, you have to feed them, you have to take them to the vet to get their shots, you have to get them groomed. Not all dogs need to be groomed, but they need to have their nails cut. And so they're a protector, they're loyal, they teach you things. That's some sleeping right there. Yep. So what is everybody doing for the weekend? Anybody have any plans? Can you believe it's already the end of summer? Wow. It's been a hot one too. I'm telling you, it's that global warming. It's global warming. It's not gonna get cooler. Just sitting here, stuck like a bump on a log. 'Cause they had me driving around in my car. That blew my gas money. So I'm just sitting here, waiting for someone to look over my papers. And I can't call the housing authority and ask them anymore, because they accused me of harassing them. It's not very productive. That's what I'm saying. This has been going on for a month. Just sitting in parks, sleeping at truck stops, or random parking lots. I know, like, I found this article online about, like, places that you can sleep if you're, sleeping out of your car. You just can't sleep anywhere where there's, like, overnight parking. You can sleep somewhere where there's overnight parking, but that would be like if you had a gym membership, like, because it's to gyms that are open 24 hours. Obviously, if I had a gym membership, I could shower there. I know a lot of people who live out of their car do. I just wish there were more options for, like, outside showers. You know what I mean? Like, still covered. Like, I could wear a bathing suit and take a shower in public. But there isn't any outdoor showers. And so when you have a service animal, you're very limited on where you can go as far as the shelters. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you have a service animal and you're disabled, you're just at the mercy of whoever will, you know, review your paperwork and stuff like that. But it's just not healthy and it's not right. And like, you don't get any, like, any good meals. Like, you don't get any good meals. You don't get any home cooked meals. You don't get any even microwave food. You just get snacks. Campground showers maybe still not free though. Right. So like when I lived in Wisconsin, because the water at my apartment was all filled with mold, I did shower at the campground because if you walked through the campground, it was free. But if you were to drive through the campground, you'd have to pay, I think it was like $29, and you could spend the night there, like sleep in your car, because a lot of people did do that. So what I did was is I just walked through there and I took a shower and then I walked out. But I don't have any campgrounds where I'm at, and they ran me out of money. I mean, that's it. Like, I got the gas voucher, but that's it. No, that's it. But still, I mean, okay, yeah, let's talk about that. Campground showers, maybe. Like, why don't they have more things like that? I don't get it. You know what I mean? Oh, my arm's going dead. Oh, and I gotta move because my arm goes numb. So, like, my one arm is out right now, and I gotta watch that because that's the good one. Let me see if I can just move it around a little bit. I should be wearing my neck brace, but it's hot when I wear it. Can you work delivery jobs or cash jobs? Mm-mm. I can't go up and down stairs. That's why I was hyped about YouTube monetizing my channel. Because I'm like, ooh, finally gonna get paid on some content that we've been working on. But I still want to make sure that people are very aware that it wasn't just me that did all of the work. It was like 700 other people. I mean, it wasn't 700 people all the time, but there were very dedicated people who consistently showed up day after day after day after day, you know, and helped me with all of that. I still have to get that surgery done. And I'm going to be off for 45 days. Once I get that done, I got to go to a rehab facility. I haven't been able to go see a doctor because I don't have an address. Everything revolves around an address. Right, one thing at a time. I just didn't know it was going to be like this hard. But now I'm finding out why. If they don't like you, they just try to find a reason to discriminate against you. I found out that today. Because I thought to myself, like, why is this so hard? It shouldn't be so hard, you know? And that's when I got lucky and I was able to get somebody that was willing to be my counselor and help me with everything, because after a while when you're out in the elements and you're in survival mode, sometimes you just kind of need somebody to talk to just to see if you're still on the ball with things or what the deal is. I got to keep my neck to the side because I can't hold it up. It's like I'm slopey. It feels better when it's like off to the side. I mean, I guess I could wear my neck brace. It's just, it gets so hot. Maybe I should just put it on. Hold on. Maybe I should just put it on. That way I'm not, it's not an issue. I mean, I always sleep with it on. There you go. That way I don't have to hold up my neck. It's not as bad. Yeah, one thing at a time. I mean, I've still been working on things out of my car. It's just a lot. It's just a lot just trying to stay alive. You know, and you jump through all the paperwork hoops. Oh, you gotta be here and you gotta sign papers. You gotta do this, blah, blah. Oh, we don't like it like that. We like it like that. After a while, you're just kind of like, come on. What's going on? What's really going on? But man, when they say God works in mysterious ways, they're not kidding. All because they sent me to go get that gas vouchers when I found out that they really had more available units and they just weren't processing my application. Look at that little dog. I mean, that dog is really small. Isn't that kind of funny how like people walk their dogs and the dogs are just like a string? They're just like a little animal on a string. But that shows the bonding, you know, between people. I'm sure there's landlords out there that are looking for people to rent an apartment from them. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm not going to be able to do a third floor with stairs. That I can't do. Not at this time. Probably no time soon. I'm very grateful, though, that people have spent the day with me, seeing what's been going on. I'm just so tired of people asking me why I'm in this position. I'll show you why. Other people will comment. A year will go by, and it'll be like, oh, you know, this happened to my cousin. Yep. Labor Day weekend. People will be off work, celebrating. They don't think about, like the one lady when I talked to her yesterday. Oh, I'm very aware of your situation. Are you? How aware are you of it? I'm going to show you. This is what I'm going through. I want you to see it. The people who think that they're aware. Yep. The only way for them to really know is to document it, which is what I'm doing. Documenting it. So now it'll just be like this at least until Tuesday, because the housing authority offices, they don't even want to respond. Exactly, the upper class doesn't want to see the homeless, let alone help. Well, I always donated. Even like the last time that I moved, I donated like a lot of good clothes. And like they were all like my yoga clothes that I wasn't able to use because I haven't been able to do yoga. To the women's shelters, you know. So I always donated. You look like you look like if Donald Trump was a female. Not gonna lie. I like Donald Trump. I like Rudy Giuliani too. I talked to Rudy Giuliani on over Twitter. I've emailed him too. Because I still strongly believe that the whole reason why the election ended up the way that it did was because of the mail-in vote. Trump 2024, exactly. That's why I don't use the mail. People who know me, you don't have to check your mail. You don't have to go to the mailbox. You don't have to accept mail. It's not illegal to not check your mail. And I'm boycotting the United States Postal Service because I believe that's how they were able to say that Biden won. Because again, the postmaster DeJoy, Biden for retirement home 2024. It's elder abuse what they're doing to him, making him work when he's not coherent. But if they try to put Trump in jail, I really think that Nostradamus's prediction of a civil war in 2023 will come true, because the country is just in a terrible spot. I think the country's in a terrible spot. There's always going to be people who are going to be thriving in a down market. I get that, but from what I've seen recently, people are really hurting, really hurting. But yeah, so DeJoy, who was friends with Trump, who asked for a bailout, Trump didn't give it to him. Have you heard Biden may be impeached? No. They just need to remove him from office. It needs to be like, allegedly he accepted bribes as a VP. Of course he did. Why do you think he wanted to run for president? That's why they keep everything about his son hush hush. Especially about the laptop. They don't want people to know the truth. They want to keep brainwashing you. And President Biden is best friends with former President Jimmy Carter, by the way. And former President Jimmy Carter, has been on hospice now for more than 6 months. So he's going to have to be reevaluated to get back on hospice, because you can only be on for 6 months and then you got to be rehabilitated. Because they just throw his grandson out every now and again to say he's in the last chapter of his life. And it's like, how long do you expect people to live? You know what I mean? Was he like 98, 99 years old? That's a very long life for a human being, But like, Jimmy Carter was voted the worst president of all time. So it only makes sense that his bestie is the second worst, of all time. We're just paying for that Ukraine war. That's why our country's in such a funk, I know they're trying to throw Trump in jail, but it's not going to work. I really think that if they do something like that, it's going to be a major war going on in the United States. Ukraine is a waste of funds. We don't have any business being over there. They're not part of NATO. We don't have any alliance with them. Why are we fighting their war? Look what's going on here in the United States. We can't even take care of our own people. The Catholic Charities was the biggest scam, though. I'm telling you, I will never, ever donate any money to the Catholic Church ever again. That is over. The churches will give you food, which I think is awesome. But if you don't have a place to cook soup or like, you know what I mean? Why would you give a homeless person milk? What am I going to do with milk? I mean, I guess if you had an apartment. Catholic Church is sketchy AF. Well, they own a lot of the real estate in the United States. They're one of the largest real estate landholders in the United States. They're sketchy. But again, unless you're in a situation like this, you wouldn't realize things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I would still be mailing St. Jude you know, a couple of bucks here, there, or whatever, whenever I had some extra money. I mean, I've heard good things about St. Jude Hospital helping the kids, but as far as like donating, excuse me, or going to church, those days are over, long over. I'd much rather give my money to that donation, that the charity that helped me pay for Cupid's hospital bills. So yeah, um, Biden did bail out the United States Postal Service with like $18 billion. So I don't buy stamps and I don't use the mail. What do I think on? I don't think. I don't think. I'm trying to think of like what some of the things. Like I get a lot of fan mail where people are like, I'm sorry you're going through this. You know, I'll pray for you. And I do believe in the power of prayer for sure. I do believe that. But it has to come from the top, you know? Like, it has to come from. It has to come. Like, people only. Or are only motivated when it hits like their pocketbook, right? So, like, for example, like the people that work at the housing authority who treated me a certain type of way. Well, it'll just be, you know, Washington, D.C., the HUD department will just throw an investigator on and investigate that office, and they'll find things that are wrong, like with the orientation program that's got issues, and they'll find violations, and then they'll have to upgrade the way that they deal with people. Why do they want to impeach? Why do they want to impeach Biden? I don't. I don't watch TV. I haven't had a TV in 6 years. I don't ever really feel like I would never ever need a TV because I don't watch 2, 5, and 7 regular TV. I basically just do YouTube, and you know, I do a lot of YouTube. YouTube, I go to YouTube for pretty much everything. Facebook news is pretty good. Like if I check the news, I check the news on Facebook, but I don't like go to a TV to watch the news. I think the older people do because that's what's in their daily routine, but I don't know how many other people really do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially like the younger generations, they watch everything on tablets. They don't buy TVs. Not that I'm aware. They don't even want to buy homes. Because, like, the system just is designed to keep you poor. Like, a mortgage is a loan that's backed, like, because the banks are backed by the federal government, FDIC, federally insured deposit. And so, even if you have $1 million in the bank, you're only going to get so much of that guaranteed by the government. That's why in the Great Depression they kept their cash in their mattresses because the banks failed. But a mortgage is designed to basically give the home back to the mortgage lien holder. It's not designed for you to actually own your home. And we don't own anything. Everything is rented from the universe. Everything is rented from the universe. Everything. We take nothing with us when we leave. So you don't actually own your home. You own the materials that make up your home, but you're responsible for paying taxes on the land in which your home is on. And so I don't know. I don't know. And then just like sitting in a hot car day after day after day, the heat just wears on you, you know? And it's like, I mean, I'm still a motivated person to do things, but it's just like you get very lethargic and low on salt, and all you want to do is just drink like Gatorade, but I can't afford Gatorade, so I don't drink it. I almost went to the emergency room last night. I just try to stay hydrated, but it's you're at the mercy of like free resources. It's just been going on for too long. This is what they want me to do. They just want me to sit and wait. That's what they want me to do. Our library is free. If you want to sit in them, they are. But I like went to the library and they made me pay $1 for a guest pass, which is okay because I had to print off application papers and stuff like that. Like right now, I'm sitting under shade, so it's not as hot as like the sun blaring, you know. But yeah, also there's only like so many times you can like go to a Home Depot and push the cart around, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Um, when you go into a library, you can probably just sit there at the table and use the table and stuff like that and use the bathroom. And I've done that a couple of times, you know, I've gone to Home Depots and sat on their lawn furniture for like a couple of hours just so my dog could sleep in the air conditioning. I've gone to, the only place I don't like to go is Walmart. Like, sorry, but I just don't care for Walmart. But Target, I've obviously hit up a couple of Targets, but they get to know you after a while, and they know like that's a pattern with like the homeless people, you know? I'm with you on that. Yeah, like I like Target, and I just I just like Target better. I mean, yes, I have shopped at Walmart, and I'm not saying check free events in your city every weekend. Well, I'm limited on how far I can drive because they have me literally sitting in my car. And so, like, you have to drive to places where you can park. That's the thing. I don't have unlimited funds to just keep gassing up the car. That's one of the issues is being in my car for a month. They ran me out of money. That's it. Like, I'm out of money. There isn't any more, you know. I bet the bus isn't cheap anymore either. I haven't taken the bus in a long time. But where would I go if I was in the bus? I don't know. Like yesterday when I talked to the property manager, she was like, "You need to sit and wait. You need to wait and you need to be on call. We're going to call you when we're ready. You just sit there and wait. Now I need to get back to my family. And don't have your counselor call me again. I'm going to call your counselor tomorrow, and I'm just going to tell her what I think of her." Lady, it's just an apartment, okay? It doesn't have to be that serious, okay? If you got that upset about taking a phone call, first of all, don't answer your phone then if it's after hours, if you're going to get that upset. And then secondly, you should realize the position that you're putting people in. You know what I mean? Do you really think that I want to sit on YouTube Live all day and just tell people what's going on? Not really. But I guess if this is what's going to produce results, I guess if this is what's going to be productive. Let's see if I can lay back now. You know what I mean? Okay, so I've gone to Target a lot, and I like Target. People can lack compassion until they've suffered themselves. Right. Oh, hold on a second. Let's see if I can take my dog's pillow. Okay. Whew. A little cooling mat. So, oh, we know what you're going through. Well, I think that personally, they were just trying to make me go away. And then the more that they tried to make me go away, more people just started calling them. Because it wasn't just like my counselor that started calling. It was people that I met like from the church groups or whatever. They want to know what's going on because they were getting ready to donate items for me. Like I have somebody who put a bed in storage today for me because they're like, what's going on with your apartment? We have a bed for you, you know, and we want to bring it to you, but what's going on with your apartment? It seems like it's been forever. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, they basically told me not to contact them again, that they'll contact me. So yeah, somebody has a microwave that they're gonna donate to me and a bed, which is nice. So we'll have a bed to sleep in. We won't have to sleep on the floor, which is really cool. That was nice. But I know, isn't that awesome? And like people that like I only showed up to the church twice. And like right after the first time they met me, they were like, well, we're good stuff for you. Do you have anything? I'm like, I don't have anything. I just have what's in my car. And they're like, well, what about a bed? And I'm like, I would love a bed. And they're like, we have one. We're going to save it for you. And so they've been texting me and asking me, like, what's going on? And I'm like, listen, here's the phone numbers to the people at the housing authority. Here's the property manager's phone number. You can call, you know, and find out what's going on because now they told me not to contact them. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, it is pretty nice, right? A microwave. And at least I can make like some frozen food. I know that's like not super healthy and we should be eating fruits and vegetables and stuff. And for the most part, I do eat a lot of like vegetables as much as I can. One thing that I got from the food pantry that was really cool, it was called Brad's salad, and it was like a dehydrated salad in a bag, and it was really good. Like it kind of smelled like seaweed, but like I kind of like seaweed because it's got iodine in it, which speeds up your metabolism. So yeah, I think it was the Caesar flavored one that I had. It was really good. Like when I get back up on my feet, I'm gonna order some of those dehydrated salads. Like that was a great thing, I thought. It was tasty too, you know? But it's like things you don't think about. Like, one thing you want to give homeless people is hand sanitizer because the opportunities that they have to wash their hands and stuff like that, it's not abundant. You know what I mean? Like, and then every time I have to use the public restroom, I line the toilet seat with toilet paper because I don't want to sit on that. You know, like my mom taught me that when I was a child. You gotta line the toilet seat with toilet paper just so you're not like sitting there. But it's not clean. Definitely not. And then you have to do your laundry like in random places. It's always like some random laundromat that I'm at. I just hop in and hop out, you know. But I only have so many outfits that I can wear before I have to like do my laundry. So there's not much that fits in the little Barbie car. Yeah, it's not as hot right now. But like I said, I'm under shade. Yeah. People definitely lack compassion. You can dog food and maybe things you need. Yeah, I got dog food from the mission. They gave me dog food. They gave me dog food, which was really nice. And like it was good dog food too. Like the one with the blue label or whatever. They gave me dog food. That was really cool. And like a lot of snacks. I got like the Be Kind bars, which are like the oat bars, you know. Just no protein, but I don't really eat that much protein anyway. Everybody's going towards the plant-based proteins instead of the animal protein. I'm glad you have some supports even if things are not moving fast enough. Go dumpster diving, check that out. I couldn't even get up in a dumpster or get out of one. I'm not mobile like that. If I was younger, you know, I did see like on a TikTok video where like somebody went into like the Bath and Body Works dumpster and they got like the candles that they threw out where people returned them or whatever. That I'd be willing to investigate, but I can't go in the, I can't climb up a dumpster. I'm not physically fit. Shoe stores throw out brand new shoes. I could try to do that. If they're like laying out or on top, I just can't like climb anything or get in or out of anything. Bath and Body Works would be good because you would get like the shower gel and stuff. And sometimes the housing authority will give you like shampoos and conditioners and toilet paper. Do they do ceiling rent where you are, where they pay you to live there? I never even heard of that. But I have a housing voucher. I have the rent covered. That's not the issue. I have the rent covered. It's that you can't even get into the apartments. I don't know what ceiling rent is. I'll Google it though, if you can expand on it. Too bad you can't pet sit for people. I don't think that would be a good idea. I mean, if it was cats, but I can't be around big dogs that are like, are they remodeling them? No, they're discriminating. They're discriminating. No, there's units available. Plenty of them. It's not lack of space. There are units available. I know, I talked to the residents. It's for people with no home or income. I'll look into it. Doesn't hurt to look into it. It's just a shame that I have a housing voucher, but I can't use it. They haven't let me use it. This is the third time. So that's what they want me to do, just sit here and wait. Now it'll be the same thing for days. How long can you stay in them once you get in? For life. 10, 15 years. That's supposed to be like to assist you. So like essentially it's, you know, let's say Like getting a housing voucher, if the rent, let's just say if it's $1,000 a month, that's $12,000 a year. At 10 years is $120,000. Thank you, Vicky. Prayers work. Prayers work a lot. It can be for a long time because the whole thing is like, okay, so like with my disability, I'm in and out of the hospital all the time. So that's why it's like it's not fair for me to try to go and get a job knowing I'm not going to be there in a couple of months because I won't be able to. And so you have to take off. That's why when people who have disabilities apply for jobs, they they don't get callbacks because the employer already knows the chances of them being able to be stable for a great long time isn't really, unless they're like, I guess when I get past my physical problems it might be a different story, but I can only work with what I have going on right now, and it doesn't make sense for me to go apply for a job when I know I'm not going to be there. So why would they put the money through training somebody like me when they know that I'm not going to be able to make it? You know what I'm saying? I haven't been able to make it on my own in 18 months. That's how all of this got started. Okay, now this hand's going numb. Hold on. That's the problem, is like my limbs go numb. That's why I said I'm going to do the writing. I actually like the writing for Amazon because it's a job that works with my disability. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you can do it whenever you can do it. So I do like it. But I know, like, from my doctors, they said that I won't be able to type using both hands in like another year. So unless I can get somebody to type for me, I don't like the voice. I don't like the voice dictation. I just think it's kind of like it holds you back, it holds you up. You can type for me? Okay. The voice to text is like you have to say period, space, paragraph. And like, I think it's because of my accent. It doesn't come off. Like, I feel like it's just more work going back and try to correcting it with my one hand. But if you want to type for me, that's fine. I know I'm going to need somebody to do it because I'm not going to be able to do it. And I have to be able to finish these documentaries. I have a lot of it done. I have a lot of it done. A lot of it, I have a lot of it done. What I was working on before I moved was and maybe tomorrow I can go to the library and get that thing printed off. But what I was working on was the autopsy reports. Remember the ones that had like the number 12 at the top? Because what I was doing is I was going through the reports because I took years of handwriting analysis. I took it classes at a college, and I studied with professionals like Sheila Lowe. I didn't study under her, but my professor studied under her. If you want to look her up. But handwriting analysis, where you can tell from the handwriting when somebody is committing fraud. So like what happens is like actually the woman who introduced me to it was a fraud examiner for the state that she lived in. And so she got to take the classes as part of her job because they would analyze paperwork from employees and then see who was committing fraud or not based off of the handwriting analysis. And so I did the handwriting analysis and I have it done. I have it typed. I don't have it uploaded on Amazon. And this was part 2 of Erin's documentary because it was the medical reports that were fabricated. And I want to be able to show you guys that, you know, and you ladies too. I want to be able to show you that. I want to be able to teach you how to spot that, because it's valuable information that everybody can use on a daily basis, you know. So, but yeah, after I do these last 2 documentaries, I'm not doing any more books, just so you know. These are going to be the last 2. And if you want to type for me, then fine. I will, we'll set something up when I'm able to, because I already know that people are waiting for my content. But they're going to wait. They're going to give me time. Like, the people that I'm working with know that I have my surgery coming up and my housing issues and stuff like that. So that's why I haven't gotten any money for any advances or anything like that, because I can't produce right now. I just can't. I mean, I can try, but it's going to be a little bit before I can produce. But okay, just focus on getting well step by step. That's it. You want to take time out to work on yourself, but I haven't been able to do that. I've been working on my housing and it just keeps eluding me. That's why I said I think the better way to go is just to tell people that I have the voucher and just see what offers come available. Again, you guys can email me at shatteredwindows7@gmail.com. If you know somebody who's got property that are vacancies, you know, and then go from there. I don't have to live in any particular area. I don't want to live in California. I mean, I'm sure there's nice parts of it, but after doing Aaron's story, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I never liked California. I mean, just me personally, I don't get it. I just don't get the whole, like, I don't know. Maybe because, like, I never wanted to go to Hollywood to become an actress or an actor or anything like that, which I don't even think people are doing that anymore, because the movie industry, the sets, they're building them in Idaho and in Las Vegas now. So I don't even think going to Hollywood is, people are even doing that anymore. But the times that I have been in California, like, I just don't get it. I mean, I guess the weather, but they have the fires. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't been to the right areas. But move to Georgia. Well, don't you know I already live in Georgia? Haven't you ran the background checks on me? That's one of the places they say I live. Some of the rudest people I've ever met were in California. I really like New York. New York isn't a place to go when you're homeless, but I really like New York. I don't know about Georgia. I don't really know if they're going to like me there, because that's all total, that's the Carters run Georgia. North Carolina is nice. What about South Carolina? What about South Carolina? What about there? I don't know about living in Georgia. It'd have to be after President Carter dies, when all of his protection with the Secret Service ends and stuff like that. So, I mean, there might be nice parts of Georgia. It's just that would not be a good idea. South Carolina is nice too. You know, like, I was looking up Catherine Dennis the other day. Because you guys ever watch Southern Charm? And I used to watch that show. Remember Catherine Dennis? She was like the model that got knocked up by Thomas Ravenel. And like that'll just go to show you like the influence is for people who like have money. Like he went ahead and knocked her up twice and then took her kids away and then financially bankrupted her with all the paternity loss, like all the like custody battles. And it's like when I got sued 17 times, it's just like that's hard to come back from with all the legal fees and stuff. That really set me back, like just just set me back, you know. But why isn't she like modeling for all these like brands? She's a pretty girl. She's got a good figure. I mean, I don't I'm straight, but I'm just saying like cuz I used to do modeling when I was younger. I don't know why she's got money problems or I mean, well, I know why she's got money problems is because she had to pay for lawyers and stuff like that. I just don't understand, like, with like, so like when you say South Carolina, the first thing I think of is Thomas Ravenel and him and his issues that he's got, but his family's got so much money. And then, you know, poor Catherine, you know, I mean, I watched her on Bravo. I didn't think her attitude was that bad. You know what I mean? Like, you got to remember, they're catching her every day, all day long, and you're only getting snippets of what they really are, you know? You used to model when you were younger? Yeah, I did some pretty good jobs. I was with Elite out of New York. It was fun. I like doing the trade shows. The trade shows were fun because you met a lot of people because you were there all day. It was hard on your feet though. Oh, I gotta switch because my arm just went numb. Um, I did a promotion for TGI Fridays mudslides. Um, I read for a script for a movie. I did, what else did I do? I'm trying to think. God, that was so long ago. But yeah, like to be a brand ambassador or to do like for the day, how they want you to like do their product for the day or whatever. It's easy, you know, and anybody can be a model. You don't have to be like, I'm just saying, like, for her, she seems like she would be perfect for, but you know, I think she was wasn't she working at that one store? And then I think she got fired because of something that she posted on Instagram now that I'm remembering, because she was using like inappropriate emojis. So she got fired from that one store. But I mean, like, look, people make mistakes, you know what I mean? Like, she corrected her mistake, she apologized, and like, you gotta move on. You can't just be like, you're never gonna hire Catherine Dennis forever because of one mistake that she made. You gotta give people a chance to recover, you know? But it just seems that, like, I mean, she's an influencer, you know what I mean? And she's a mom. There's got to be something that she could do as far as modeling. She photographs well, you know. I like her as a redhead personally. And secondly as a blonde, but I mean, she just did an event I just read online that she did an event in South Carolina. So she's getting back out there. She doesn't work for she doesn't work with Bravo anymore. Ooh, like Kim Zolciak doesn't work for Bravo anymore. And it's like, I mean, wouldn't you think it would be a time for them to want to film Kim? Like, she's the mouth of the South. She's the Kim K of the South. Like, they literally call her the mouth of the South, don't they? I mean, I don't understand why there isn't film crews walking around with her every day, all day long. I feel bad that her and Croy are getting a divorce. I really do, because I felt like their union could withstand a lot more than, I mean, a financial problem. I mean, I just feel like her and Croy could make it through anything, you know? Like, finances come and go, you know? Sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. It's always better when you're up, but I know that they have financial problems, but they're also raising 6 kids, or four that are under the age of 18. I just wish that there would be a way for them to be able to reconcile, because that just sucks, especially when you have young kids going through a divorce and she's in the public eye, and now she's in the public eye for things that like are out of her control, you know what I mean? But I feel like Bravo should have offered her some kind of show where they could show where healthy co-parenting is, because they don't have a show like that. What show do they show where there's healthy co-parenting? Because people get divorced now. They don't stay married. People don't get to stay married. Like, that's like with the royal family or whatever. You get married so you could have kids so you could pass on your legacy. But now people just basically stay with partners for like 7 to 10 years, and then they trade them out. So I think a show showing like a healthy co-parenting situation would be beneficial. Because I know when my sister went through her divorce, it cost a whole lot of money for them just to agree that it was, you know, Tuesday night, Thursday night, and every other weekend. It took them like 4 years to get divorced, and like 140 grand it cost my little sister to get divorced just to figure that out. And then they ended up splitting everything in half, and the lawyers always eat up the divorce money. So it's like, that's why I wish Kim and Croy could work things out without it like further damaging their finances. You know what I mean? I don't think she really wants to divorce him. I think that she's probably just very stressed out that, you know, like all of a sudden they owe all this money, and it's like, I mean, she's selling her bags and her designer stuff, which is a good move, because that'll just show you not to, you know, go broke trying to look rich. Who cares about, like, I mean, yeah, I do think women, or who, it's not just women, but it's okay to have like a designer bag, you know, and stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be like everything that you own is labels. You know what I mean? So she's learning, like, those bags don't even hold their value. You know, like, you watch The Housewives and you're like, man, how do they afford all of that? And then now you're seeing that they don't. It's like all on credit. Or like Jen Shaw's in jail. Teresa Giudice went to jail. I mean, you know, so it's kind of like, I feel like Bravo should be there to back her up in some way. Come up with a different, you know, show. But don't leave her hanging. She put her whole family out on film so you guys could make a ton of money, you know? And they're just like, sorry to hear about your divorce. It's like, okay, you know? It sucks too, because I remember she tried to buy that, she bought that house. She had a hard time with housing for a while. Remember, they like would be in a contract to buy a place, and then the people would raise the selling price after they already agreed to it, to a point where it's like so high that she couldn't afford it. And then they finally got this house that was a foreclosure, and they moved back into the townhome, and then they remodeled the house that they're in now, and now, you know, they want to keep it, but it's a lot of money to maintain those big homes. You just wonder if it's ever worth it. But what, you know what I mean? For what? I mean, when you have kids, the pool is helpful. You know, and they have like all boys, so probably the basketball court is good, but you got to keep them active. You got to keep those kids active, you know? It's just a shame. You don't like to see families get broken up like that, especially just because of finances. Finances, just a money problem, comes and goes. It's just the change in lifestyle is where it's hard, you know? The change in lifestyle. Yep. So what's everybody doing this weekend? It's a 3-day weekend for most people. It's a 4-day weekend for the housing authority. But they're okay with me living out of my car. I hope other people contact me that are going through the same thing, because I'm going to need other testimonials from other people. With Aaron's story, it was different because all the witnesses, I'm going to be chilling, maybe a cookout, wanted to be kept anonymous, but easily could reproduce the witness statements, no problem. A cookout would be fun. Maybe I'll meet somebody who's having a cookout and I'll go over to their house and cook out. I mean, I have met people, you know, like one person let me use their pool for an hour, which was nice. I did a video when I was doing that. You know what I mean? Or like let me shower, which was nice. Because it's like, again, staying clean is like the most important thing, especially when you're ill, like especially when you're sick, you know? If I was closer, I'd invite you. Thanks. Yeah, I guess a lot of people just cook out on Labor Day weekend. Summer's over just like that. Wow. And it's pumpkin spice lattes. How much are pumpkin spice lattes now? I know when I was at Starbucks the last time, I saw them. I think it was like $5 or $6, maybe a little bit more. You can shower at truck stops. Yes, you can shower at truck stops. Yep. You have to pay for them, but you can shower at truck stops. It's just a shame that I have to do that when I have the ability to rent an apartment, you know? You can sleep at truck stops too. We were talking about that, like where the homeless people sleep. Like a lot of homeless people sleep in the Walmart parking lots, and they sleep at like in the parking lots of the gyms that are open 24 hours. I don't know if you have to have a membership or not, but in most states it's not legal to be sleeping in your car, which is why I don't understand why the housing authority is telling me to do that, because it's not legal. And so why are they okay with that? I just don't understand. And especially the fact that like they were females. Have I thought about getting an RV? I have actually, and I think that's a great idea. I really do. I really think that getting an RV is a great idea. Because when I was at the campsites, I actually liked the campgrounds. Like, I liked how the people, like, when they went camping, yeah, do it. I'll get an RV. I think it's a great idea. Because, like, one of the best showers I ever had was at that campsite. I'm telling you, it was like the water was really hot, and you know, like I was in and out in like 5 minutes, but I just felt so like clean, you know. It's cheaper than house rent. Yeah, and you can go anywhere in your RV. You can go anywhere. And it would have like a bed, like a real size bed. And then you could be like at the campgrounds with all the other people. And it's not like you have to like clean a whole house or anything like that, you know? Some have pools and playgrounds. You can cook. Yeah. And move wherever you want. I think an RV is a good idea, especially with me having the dog, you know. I wouldn't mind. They're expensive. RVS, go off grid. But at the campgrounds, they have where you hook up to the power. I know because the one that I was at had where you could hook up to the power. I don't want to live out of like one of those minivans where you have to like poop in a bucket. I don't want to do that. That's too rough riding for me, you know? Like I'd rather just like go in a regular bathroom where I could just do my business. More and more people are doing it now with housing crisis. I might too. I mean, think about it. You don't have to deal with the municipalities. If you don't like your neighbors, you could just pick up and move, you know. I mean, you can small RV. Yeah, I can do a small RV. I can. I think that's not a bad idea at all. It's just the fact that, like, the housing problem that I'm having is a shame because I have a housing voucher and I should be able to use it, you know. I don't know how I would get an RV at this time. I don't know. It helped me save money. It's just very cold where I am in the winter. I'd have to get a winter-proof one. Also, they have the electric blankets that you can plug into the a bathroom and a shower. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's got to have a bathroom and a shower. A bed, bathroom, shower, a little space for you to, like, cook and eat your food. And that, you know what I mean? Just, it doesn't have to be big. It can be, like, you know, 200 square feet or something. It doesn't have to be a big one. It just has to be functional. When you've gone through as many losses as I have, you just don't look at things like you really want to even hold on to things anymore, you know? Like, God forbid if something happens to my dog, and, you know, he's 14, so he's not like he's gonna live ever, you know, like for another, you know, 10 years, but I wouldn't get another dog. Housing voucher, some allow you to transfer to another state. You can take it with you, yes. That's why I said if anybody knows of any places that are accepting, you know, one bedroom housing vouchers, to let me know where to go, because it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Most run off propane gas, but you can use electric heater in the RV. But you're in an RV, so you could drive to where it's warm. I mean, unless you have a family that's dependent on you, then you can't leave the area. But the whole point of having an RV is to, like, I would go where it was warm in the winter and cool in the summer, you know? That's what I would do. I mean, it's literally a recreational vehicle, so you might as well just go where, you know, you would get the most benefit. You want to move somewhere warmer? Well, somewhere warmer is coming by you because of the global warming. You're not going to be able to escape the heat. I think people understand now that, like, global warming's a real thing. It's not something that's going to go away. I mean, I didn't enjoy living in Wisconsin where it was like so cold. You know what I mean? Like they wanted me to go to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, and it's like, oh, I don't think so. I've been to the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota, and it's a very nice facility, but it's just so cold, you know? It's just so cold. And I kind of like the changing of the seasons too, you know? I really like New York. New York is like one of my favorite places. And I mean like New York, New York. I haven't been anywhere but New York, New York. I'm talking like the downtown area. I really like that. I would really like to live there. I know it's like apartment living is very small and tiny, but I'm okay with that. You know, my dog is small, so it's not like I need a super big place. But I won't get another dog after something happens to mine. Because when things go wrong and you can't take care of them properly, it just stresses you out. That's why I can't believe that lady with that charity just paid $2,000. Like, didn't stress me out, just completely helped me out, just relieved my worries. It was like, and she didn't even know me. You know what I mean? What an angel. I know. That's why I was like, I'm going to push her charity because they really helped. And it was like, it just took such a relief off of me, you know? And it was like, he was in the ICU because of dehydration. And luckily, because of her, he made it. One day you can give back. I plan on it. Have you seen where a girl says she's Danny Lynn and married to Aaron and have a child, and she said Mel was dead? Not sure if this stuff is scary. No. I don't, and as far as like Randy Lynn or whatever, I don't talk to Randy Lynn anymore. After I got involved with the FBI, she didn't want to have her information exposed, and I don't blame her. But that's the risk that you have when you email me or things like that. You know what I mean? Because I fully said that I was going to cooperate with the authorities. I have and I do. Any evidence that I had that pertained to his case, I turned over. I still have some that I didn't, only because I want to make sure that they actually do what they're supposed to be doing. And if they don't, then I'll pull more out of my arsenal. But for now, I think that we're all sitting pretty right there. Yeah, Randy Lynn's living in her car too. And she has pets too. I mean, Tori Spelling's living out of an RV, and her dad was worth what, like 800-900 million dollars. She grew up in the Candy Spelling mansion. They had a room for just gift wrapping, and she's living out of an RV. Danny Lynn says she's Annie Nicole's daughter. Oh, Anna Nicole's daughter says that she's married to Aaron, and they have a child together. That's new. I think Danny Lynn's a little young for Aaron Carter, but I mean, that's clickbait. Mel's not gonna die. She might she might die of embarrassment, but I don't think that Melanie is dead. I think Melanie will probably go to jail, and then she'll go to ICE and then be kicked out of the country. But I don't I don't think that Melanie's dead. I think they're trying to figure out what to do about the whole Bobby Scally issue too. Because like, and that was, oh, that's another thing I got emails on was the Bobby Scally. Okay, so the story about that is you'd have to Google Bobby Scally, Scali, and I believe I follow him on X. But so what happened is there was a weekend that Aaron was by himself, and this guy Bobby Scally said that he in Fort Lauderdale he was drugged by, he met this girl at a bar, and he was drugged, and the next day when he woke up, because he really should have been in the hospital. I remember people on Twitter saying it was Mel, right? Well, it looks just like her. And the girl that's actually doing the time for it doesn't look like the girl in the video. And so that's what I was saying. Like, now if you try to go back and get the Bobby Scally videos of like, and it was on the news too. So you'll still be able to, if you Google it, you'll still be able to get the videos of the news that have it. But the guy who originally posted it that I had in the playlist, his video's gone. And I contacted Bobby Scally, but he wouldn't comment. And so if you look, okay, so it was the weekend that Aaron was by himself and that Melanie wasn't with him. And it looks just like her in that video, okay? And didn't Aaron say that Melanie stole Kurt Benz's Rolexes? And we know what happened to Aaron's house after Aaron died. I mean, she cleared that out. But I think that those orders came from higher up. I don't think it was just Melanie. And I think that, in my opinion, it was Melanie who robbed Bobby Scally and drugged him. And I mean, it's gonna happen. There's dogs that are gonna walk by. I'm at a park. That they threw some other person in for her to do the time for Melanie, because if Melanie was out making, robbing at $50,000, $100,000 a hit, however much those watches are, they'll just pay somebody to do the time, because Melanie's more valuable as somebody who is a known thief, hustler, scam artist, Tinder swindler or whatever. So my theory on that is that they just put somebody else in that looked like her to do the time, because there's a reason why that video was gone and that those people won't speak about it. You can only, I have the videos and I put them on the playlist, but there's a reason why those people aren't showing that video footage. There's a reason why they're not talking. Hi, Boo. Hi. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. I think part of the delay in the arrest for Aaron's murder is that there's just so many big names involved, and it's just so messy. Like, Aaron dying was just a messy situation, because there's big names involved, and they don't really want to be involved because the idea didn't come from the top. It just didn't. It was too messy of a organized crime. Like, they left so many clues, it was ridiculous. You know what I mean? But they'll be shocked when they get arrested that they got caught. They'll be shocked because they think that their plan was foolproof. But once you go back and you look at the evidence and everything, and you can see where they fumbled the ball, it's just so obvious, you know what I mean? Like, way too obvious. Like when we do the lesson on the handwriting analysis, when I do the reports, the autopsy reports, when I go over them with you, you'll see exactly what I mean. Like now that you know that Prance's dad is Taylor Louis, you can see like he looks just like his dad, like right in the face. You can just see that he's the dad. You know what I mean? And then the whole murder for hire conspiracy theory just makes so much more sense, you know? And don't forget you have forensic accountants that go back and trace all of the money transactions because all they do is follow the money trail. And there was plenty of money trails to follow when it came to the corruption. That was probably the easy part. The hard part was them trying to cover up the money trails because they just didn't think that anybody was going to figure out what the truth was. But we did figure out what the truth was. And the game changer was social media. Because I had so many people that were why didn't the authorities set up a tip line like I did? Anybody could have really done what I did. I mean, I don't know if anybody could have done what I did, but I mean, it also wasn't like brain surgery, you know what I mean? I literally set up a tip line and then we sorted through all the information, you know? But I have to go to the bathroom and I will be back. I'll sign back on in a little bit. I need to drink some water too. I'll be back. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. The Stella Rose all day. Stella Rose all day live. I'll be back. Bye. See you later.